Atletico Madrid released him as a teenager. Their own academy decided he wasn't good enough to keep. Nobody built a plan around Rodri because nobody expected there to be anything to build a plan around. Then he became so good that Manchester City built an entire era on top of him. 4 titles, a treble, a World Cup golden ball, a manager calling him irreplaceable out loud on camera. And that's exactly the problem. Nobody ever built a version of Manchester City that could survive without him. Not when his knee went, not now with his contract running out and Real Madrid circling. He was never supposed to be this good. City never planned for what happens when he is. Nobody wrote down why Atletico let him go. There's no scouting report explaining it, no quote from a coach justifying the call. He just wasn't in their plans, and the academy moved on without him. Villarreal took him with none of that weight attached. No name to live up to, no pressure to prove a mistake wrong. He debuted there in 2015, and what he did next is easy to miss if you're only watching the ball. He stopped chasing it. He started standing exactly where it was going to be, a second before anyone else worked it out. Atletico noticed eventually. In 2018, they paid 20 million euros to buy back a player they'd given away for nothing. Manchester City noticed harder. A year later, they paid a club record fee because Guardiola's midfield was running out of road and he needed something to build the next 5 years on.
And he's built and accomplished way more than what anyone expected. Since 2019, City have lost a third of every match he's missed. And through almost all of it, Rodri wasn't the name anyone outside England attributed City's success to. He was the one reason none of it fell apart.
By 2024, Guardiola just said it straight out.
He's irreplaceable, I would say right now.
It sounded like praise. Nobody caught it as a warning. Then, 15 minutes into a match against Arsenal in September 2024, Rodri went down. No collision worth remembering. He just folded. ACL and meniscus confirmed the next day. Guardiola's own words, he had surgery this morning, so next season he will be here. This season is over. 4 straight titles, and then this. 1 win in 13 games across every competition that December. 9 losses in the same stretch, in the exact months the man they'd called irreplaceable wasn't there. Ask yourself what that actually proves. Not that Rodri is good. Everyone already knew that. It proved City had built a version of themselves that only worked with him in it, and never built a version that worked without him. He came back in 2025, and his body kept arguing with the plan. Another injury at the Club World Cup, a hamstring problem that cut short a comeback against Brentford. Guardiola, for months, gave answers with no dates in them. At one point, he said flat out that Rodri might not be right again until the World Cup. That's a manager admitting he wasn't sure his own best player would be ready for the biggest tournament of his career. He was ready. Spain went through the 2026 World Cup with Rodri running the middle of it, and he came out the other side with the golden ball. Best player of the whole tournament. 30 years old, 1 full year removed from a knee that had just been rebuilt.
Here's what makes the timing strange. While that was happening, Guardiola was already leaving, and this is now Enzo Maresca's problem. Rodri has 1 year left on his contract, and nobody at City locked that down while there was still time to. Real Madrid weren't even looking at him a year ago. Sources had him off Mourinho's list entirely, and Florentino Perez himself had doubts about signing a player who just had his knee rebuilt. Then the World Cup happened, and the doubt disappeared inside 3 weeks. Rodri wants Real Madrid, but that decision will likely be the downfall of Manchester City. Atletico released him for free once because they didn't think he was worth keeping. This time, he's the one deciding who gets to keep him.